Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Mindset Monday. I hope everyone had a phenomenal weekend and ready for another great week. My family and I, we took a kind of a last minute trip to Myrtle Beach, and just to get away, full family trip. Celebrated a god sister's birthday, and yeah, just a chance to get away, spend time with the family. So it was good. We made the best of it. So yeah, it was refreshing. So I hope you guys are ready to get rocking today. Today's gonna be a little bit different. And going forward, we're gonna build on this exercise that we're gonna go through today. So depending on how we move, right? It might be a little bit shorter today than our normal hour-ish session. But you guys doing okay this morning?
Yeah.
Good.
Doing well this morning. Thank you.
Good.
I felt good this morning. Can't complain.
Awesome. All right, so I want to talk to you guys briefly about the body, right? So with us as humans, right? The tons of things run our body and how our body functions, but there's a couple things that really impact kind of the decisions your body chooses to make, right? So in my readings, reading the book Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, he talks about an experience of him learning how to be going to study to be a monk. And some of you heard the story before, but when he goes into his class, he's talking to this kid, and the kid asks him, what's the first thing that you learned when you started school? And Jay starts talking about sounds, letters, numbers, those sorts of things, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. And the kid says, the first thing that I learned is how to breathe. Breathing is the one thing that stays with you from the time that you're born to the time that you die. And it's the first thing that is impacted when you enter into a situation, whether it's a positive or negative, stressful or relaxed, right? And that your breathing then kind of tells your body which route to go, right? So in those situations, right, whether it's a stressful situation, your breathing tells your body to go into a sympathetic nervous system state or a parasympathetic nervous system state if it's more of a relaxation type environment, right? So I'm going to give you the definition of both sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and then we're going to talk about kind of the impacts on the body, how it impacts your trading, and then we're going to do an exercise, okay? So the sympathetic nervous system is involved in preparing your body for stress-related activities. The parasympathetic nervous system is associated with returning the body to, so the parasympathetic nervous system is associated with returning your body to routine or day-to-day operations, okay? So those are the two differences. So sympathetic prepares your body for fight or flight, right? Something you probably heard, the fight or flight, the response of your body in a stressful situation, okay? The parasympathetic is primarily with a rest and digest is the kind of the medical terms that they talk about, you hear when describing that, but it also allows your body to relax, right? Parasympathetic nervous system tells your body this is a relaxed scenario. calm everything down, right? For the simplest terms, okay? So how that relates to trading is, we talk about the fear of missing out, the fear of loss, all of those fear-related activities when it comes to trading. And you guys have probably felt, right, your heart rate increase when you're in drawdown, or even when you're getting ready to take a trade, your heart rate might increase, right? And you might notice, you may not have noticed, but something I want you guys to pay attention to after this conversation. What's the pace of your breathing, right? Has your breathing sped up or has it slowed down, right? And as your breathing speeds up, right, it increases that fight or flight nervous system state, and you start thinking about those fears, right? And you start thinking about right now. And it also, in that fight or flight mode, it gives you kind of a tunnel vision. And you're not able to think clearly because your body is simply trying to determine how to stay safe, right? How to preserve itself, right? How can I stay safe? What do I need to do to protect myself? That's in that fight or flight stage, right? Because if you think about it, back in the day, hunter gatherers and those sorts of those groups, when they were out in the wild hunting, they had to be focused on that. And if they heard something, they would be directed on either I'm going to kill this or I'm going to run, I'm going to flee, right? So their bodies were prepared for that. So it's kind of the same thing, right? The stage that I want us to get to is in our trading, when those feelings arise, being able to regulate our breathing to calm our body so that we can think more broadly and more clearly about where we are and what we need to do. Right? And if we can rate, and you guys have heard me talk about this, if we can control our breathing, right, we can then start to better control our thoughts, our emotions, and our experiences so that we can see things differently and more clearly. Okay? You guys got any questions about that before we move on? Did that make sense?
No questions.
Okay. So I want to take you guys through an exercise, right? Because this breathing piece is extremely important. And there's certain things that you can do and you can practice to ultimately start to live in more of a relaxed state on the day-to-day and be aware of where you are while you're going through your trading experience, right? Because another thing, right? So living in that fight or flight mode also impacts other parts of your body as well, right? Which long-term impacts how you think about things, how you perceive situations, right? Looking at the news, right? For those that watch the news and they talk about the negative things that are happening in the community and in the world, right? That is one of the things that stimuli are some of the things that activate that fight or flight mode in your body. You don't even realize it. Even social media, right? As you scroll through your timeline, it activates this fight or flight nervous system, and you're living in, Ebony, you're going to take me down a path. You're going to take me down a path with that comment. I'm a huge fan of Wim Hof. I'm a huge fan of Wim Hof.
It's definitely a drug. It's a drug.
It really is. It really is. Wim Hof is an amazing individual. If you guys get time, look him up, research him, and do some of his practices. It's down this breathing and meditation path, but it's amazing. I'll touch on that after I finish this thought, because that actually kind of leads into something. But so all of these stimuli that we see on a daily basis put our bodies in this fight or flight mode most times, right? And even your marketing, they understand the science of the brain in the human body and how to get people to take action to do things. And it's not to help relax them, but it's help to put them in a situation where they feel like they're missing something so that they now make the decision to go get it, right? But in this stage, when your body is at this heightened level for extended periods of time, right, you're releasing chemicals into the body. And these chemicals ultimately go down the line of increasing weight gain, right? Increasing your heart rate, which long-term your heart is working harder, so could lead to heart issues down the line, right? Stress, we have to go get stress tests because they have high levels of stress, right? All of those things because your body is living in this state. And most people don't understand how to relax their body so that they can live a little bit healthier of a life, right? Because ultimately it does help you after you relax, right? And you're able to calm all systems. It allows your body to live at more of a level playing field, which long-term helps your health, okay? But it also leads down the line of meditation and just overall body function and control, right? So Ebony brought up Wim Hof. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about this guy, man. Wim Hof, he's an older gentleman. He studies breathing, he studies the human body. And Wim Hof, he's the thing that kind of made him famous, if you will, which he's not really famous, which is surprising. But he's learned how to control his body, right? Control his breathing to control his body and ultimately control body function, right? And help keep off sickness and disease. So this guy, he swam in the Arctic Ocean with just swim trunks on for like the length of a football field, right? He climbed, I believe it was climbed Mount Everest in shorts and a t-shirt, right? He's done some amazing feats without being sick, without being majorly injured, right? Without frostbite or anything like that. But one of the things that he's done, and he's taking his work to science so that they can study him, right? And how to, if they choose to, how to teach this to other people. But he was able to ward off sickness. So what he did was they put him in a lab and they wanted to study him. So what they did was they injected him with a virus, right, of some sort. And they had other test subjects. I think it was like 20 or 30 test subjects. And they injected them with the same virus. And Wim Hof then used his breathing techniques to control his body to keep that sickness from impacting his body, right? And he never got sick. Whereas the test group, all of them got sick. So then they took it a step further and they said, okay, we want to study this more. So they did the test again, but he took, I believe it was 12 individuals, taught him his breathing techniques, right, in his meditation work. And then they had another test group. And they injected all of them again, right, including the folks that he taught. And the folks that he taught also didn't get sick, but the test group did, right? So that it's an example of being able to control your body, right? Control illness, chemicals that your body releases, right? All of the regulation of the body you can control with your thoughts and your breathing. It's really, really powerful. It really is. And so they study this guy all around the world, even here in Detroit at Wayne State. they came in and brought him in for studies because they wanted to understand. Some groups wanted to understand how he did this and how other people can do it, which his techniques are absolutely phenomenal. I've gotten to the point where I take cold showers, right? Cold showers really, really help. They really force you to control your breathing as well, to calm your body and get comfortable in the space. And I'm more comfortable in cold weather, right? I go in Michigan here, right? We get snow, and I shovel my snow in a t-shirt, a vest, and a pair of sweatpants, and that's in 2010 0-degree weather. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but yeah, it's powerful. The body is extremely powerful. The body is designed. Originally, the body's designed to manage itself and to take care of itself. But the things that we put into our body, whether it's food, different stimuli that we read, that we listen to, right, impacts the body, which takes us down different paths and breaks down certain functions of the body. So this breathing thing is extremely important. It's extremely important. So what I want everybody to do, sit up in your chair, right? Sit up in your chair, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, right? And just feel yourself breathe. Okay. Now, my question for you is, do you feel your chest expand out, or do you feel your stomach expand out? You can unmute your mic and talk to me on this one. Do you feel your chest expand out, or do you feel your stomach expand out? Anybody?
My stomach.
Your stomach? Okay.
Yeah.
Both.
Both? Okay. So most people, right? You feel your chest expands for most people, right? Your chest expands and you're not fully expanding your lungs, right? And if both expand, you're still not fully expanding your lungs, okay? And in breathing, when you take even regular breaths, right? The expanding and contracting of your lungs then impacts your diaphragm, and that kind of triggers your body, right, on that fight or flight mode that we talked about. So what I want us to practice this morning is fully filling our lungs, right? Fully expanding our lungs. And as we expand our lungs, it'll then press on the diaphragm, which will then start to trigger our parasympathetic nervous system, right? So we're going to do a breathing exercise to kind of help you feel this, right? So hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. And then I want you to focus on expanding your stomach first, and then feeling the air come all the way up through your lungs into your chest. So your stomach should expand all the way out first, and then you'll feel your chest expand, okay? And what we'll do is we'll breathe in for 6 seconds. We'll hold it for 4 seconds, and then we'll breathe out for 6 seconds, right? To completely let all the air out of our lungs. So when you breathe in, I want you to breathe in through your nose, right? Hold it. And then breathe out through your mouth. Okay. And as you do this, we're going to do a few rounds of this. You might start to feel a little lightheaded. And that's okay, right? The air is getting into your brain, right? If you watch Wim Hof, right? He'll say, breathe through your brain, right? Breathe through your head. But we're going to do this. And as we do this, right, over time, as you start to pay attention to how your body feels and works, right? This exercise activates the parasympathetic nervous system to relax your body and allows you to think more clearly. That's the goal in this, okay? So I want us to practice that. So if everybody's ready, right? When I say breathe in, we'll breathe in, right? We'll breathe in for 6 seconds. We'll hold it for 4 seconds. And then we'll breathe out for 6 seconds, okay? We'll do 5 rounds of this, okay? So, ready? Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Expand your stomach. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Expand your stomach. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Deep breath, expand your stomach, then your chest. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in, last time. Hold it. Breathe out. So that's an exercise that you can do throughout your day, right? And even if you don't take the deep breaths, right? Focus on, as you're breathing, expanding your stomach first, right? Allowing the air to fill your lungs all the way up, right? As deep as your breath is on a normal basis. And then breathing, so breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, right? The combination of breathing in through your nose and the filling of the lungs from the bottom to the top is what helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So even as you're moving through your normal day, right? Filling those lungs up, breathing through your nose slows down your breathing naturally, right? And will allow your body to start to kind of live in this more relaxed state. Okay. And then when you get into stressful situations throughout your day, whether it be at work, with the kids, on your charts, right? Take a second and take 4 deep breaths, right? Take 4 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, expand your stomach, then your chest, hold it and breathe out, right? And just focus on slowing down. Focus on slowing down. And as we're able to do that, we'll be more aware, right, of how we feel in those moments, right? And it'll help us to slow our thoughts down, to think more clearly so that we can look at our charts, look at our rules, right? Remember our rules, understand our analysis, to see things more clearly and in less of a state of fear and more in a state of relaxation and comfort. Okay. All right. All right, good people. That's Mindset Monday. I appreciate you guys for showing up this morning. I appreciate you guys going through that exercise with me. And we will talk more about this topic as we move forward. So you guys have a phenomenal day, phenomenal week.